everybody, welcome along to JACKOCAR, and this is it. This is decision day. This is where we find out who the final 5 are going to be, who are going to fight this all out in the season finale in Brazil. We decide this all in Canada tonight, one of the best tracks on this game for causing chaos, because no one likes it, and that means it's going to be a fantastic race for all of us to watch. I'm your commentator Owen Wyatt, with me is Jacko. Very excited for this one.
Yes, and Canada renowned for its drama, so hopefully maybe a bit of wet weather possibly thrown in there, and the addition of 2 championship title shot places available. We'll talk about it throughout the evening, but in short, you've got 3 drivers still trying to qualify through the playoffs. That's Camo Babo, Risky and Pete, last season's champion, and of course Ben trying to win the chase, which is nearly done. He just needs a few more points and he's over the line. But yeah, should be a good one, Aaron.
Absolutely. And what does make this a bit difficult for Ben is that, well, we were just talking about this before. He's on Joker, and this might be, apart from Abu Dhabi, the worst track on the game to do the Joker on, because the one stop here sort of just doesn't work. You get swallowed up. It doesn't matter when you do it. Safety cars can buy you some time, maybe, but that depends on when you actually pit it. It just doesn't feel like it's going to work out for him. Unless it rains or something like that, but I don't know. I feel that, well, there you go, he's got his rain. That does help him, that does potentially help him, because well, we'll see what he does. It just means he gets fresher tyres on the start, but yeah, it'll be a very interesting thing to see how he handles this one today, because he's got a lot of pressure on him, even though you'd think it's done. A little mistake around here, and especially being on the wrong strategy, that is worth pointing out.
Yeah, I've been speaking to Ben for the duration of the playoffs, of course, ever since he took Mr. John's seat. And he's been very confident that the Joker is going to work around Canada. I didn't have the heart to tell him it's probably not a very good idea. But here we are. To be fair to him, he's done the hard work. You know, tonight is just about getting a top 10 finish, and he's in there. So he can look to next week then and go for a title shot in Brazil. The interesting one for us, Owen, is Camo Babo plus 7 points on Risky, and then another 3 points from Pete. Pete, realistically, is the man out of the 3 that could win, but immediately we've got this wet weather, so we just don't know what's going to happen.
That's right.
As Jess comes out, sorry.
Oh yes, Jess. Jess, who is back in the pink car. We saw her in the rain last time, of course, in Belgium when we had the charity event, so she knows her way around a wet track. We'll see if she can have a good run here, and she is also running the same livery from then. So yeah, we're used to the pink and the blues from now, and hopefully she has a good run at it.
Yeah, Jess, one of 2 changes this evening, so Jess is in for Jamie Bromley for the Scuderia Lenta boys, and Khalifa a last minute change for Connor. And of course Connor is traditionally part of the AI racing team. So Khalifa looking at potential second win in Canada and second win of the season. Of course he won in Australia back in round 3, and he won this race last season from the back of the grid because of a qualifying ban.
Now we've got a point out here that look at Jamie in the pits. He's got the mediums selected. Now he's obviously going to be going out 3rd from last, and so that might possibly hint at the rain stopping at some point in this session and giving these front runners an easier time. Now when does Ben come out? He does come out halfway through the session, so he might be on that crossover point, so he might guarantee himself a top 10 start, which would be useful for him in his fight to make sure he just gets those minuscule few points that he really needs to get into this final. So that is potentially good news, that. Let's see. On board with Jess. There's no sign of rain stopping right now, but Jess shall do a lap anyway. Although it is a bit laggy on board. I don't know if that's just me.
And apologies as well, Jamie Bromley is actually part of the Jordan team, not Scuderia Lenta, as I've just been rightfully corrected by Jordan, who is of course the captain for Team Jordan.
Oh yeah. Oops. Oh well.
I think after 16 rounds I'd know the teams by now, wouldn't you? But
well,
I don't.
You could argue they're both slow anyway, so the name would still fit. But anyway, let's not get into that. Let's talk about Jess. Actually, no, that sort of says in the same. Anyway, for the middle sector, it's a 50.7. we've got no idea if that's representative enough of a good time. Well, she's struggling a lot though, isn't she? Especially on the traction zones. She must be racing on PS5 today, surely. So maybe she's still getting used to the new controller.
Jess is a wheel user, is she not?
Or is she a wheel user?
Yes.
Alright.
I don't know how many PS5 users we've got though. I know Dexter. I think Khalifa
definitely
might be.
Dexter and Jamie and possibly Khalifa. Who else? Well, we would have had Jimmy Bromley, but he's not racing, is he?
No.
So
Khalifa, I think, might still be waiting for DPD to deliver. I'm not sure. I've not got an update on that one.
Either way, we have a slight, mixture of consoles, and we don't think it's going to make much of a difference. But we'll find out as the racing goes on. Here is Paul McGuinness heading through to the wall of champions with his Schumacher helmet on. You know how this tends to end. And it's ended the way we all expected it to, but he's got away with it. And he'll get up to the line and he will beat Jess to P1 by 3.2 seconds. Who's next? Bazza is next.
Young Bazza from Wales. He's a man who a lot of people like because he's a delivery driver.
Yes, he's a delivery driver. The poor guy had someone open their PS5 in front of him. Oh, pain.
He ended up around 10 PS5s today he delivered and doesn't have one himself yet.
Oh,
so
poor guy.
Heartbreaking.
It's all for the greater good, though.
Absolutely,
So,
he'll get one eventually.
We'll all get one eventually. We're all feeling your pain, although you might be feeling it slightly worse than us. But we're here for you. Hopefully, you'll be able to channel that anger into a fantastic qualifying lap as we get middle sector yellow flags. That's nothing. That's just Paul McGuinness getting out of the way of. I assume that would be Newgarden in the grey, and Jess is retired in the pit lane, and Baz isn't validated the lap. That's bad news. He might end up starting last with that because he's already 17th on leaderboards. But we will see as he crosses the line. He will stay 17th. Connor then is next. Where is
Khalifa, sorry.
Or oh yeah,
change.
it's alright.
Yeah.
That's my bad. I should have listened to you as well. But you know what? This isn't bad, right? Because it means you get to have a look at Khalifa and his sexy, super duper, unbelievably fantastic livery, which he's one of the people that earns it legit. Yes. We keep saying this one. So
it's him, you, and me. That's it. Bro.
Yes. So this is a stunning little livery, expertly made, literally, because he had to do all the challenges. Have you seen this paddock passes reward? By the way, I'm pretty sure it's just a celebration on the podium now. Not even a livery. They've really gone and done a side of one this year. I think.
Wow.
I hadn't loaded properly, but I saw a celebration. It was hitting a baseball bat, Hamilton in...
that is, it's not even worth
when was it? It was Hamilton's celebration from Bahrain 2015. Quite why that's really worth doing 24 challenges for. Not too sure. I mean, we like Hamilton, but we don't like him that much. And if you were going to give us a Hamilton-themed thing, give us a good livery then. He's got plenty to choose from.
Even give us his 2017 helmet, that would be nice.
Yeah, give us one of his helmets to muck about with. Goodness sake, lazy people, honestly. They've got all the licenses and they do nothing with them.
Yep.
Oh, well.
By the way, folks, Bazza did invalidate his lap, which is why he's still down in P17. Khalifa went fastest, and we're now looking at Speed Newgarden.
He's coming
this
through the last
final chicane.
Taking it nice and carefully, and he still hit the wall. That's how difficult that corner is, but he still looks like he's on for P2. I just missed it. Would have got it if he didn't hit the wall. But still not the worst time in the world. Here is Cloud heading round the hairpin.
One of the 5 drivers who's never missed a JACKOCAR race. Oh,
well, that's difficult. He's going to have to keep his foot down, although I have a feeling that it's not really going to help him out too much regardless, because as you can see the rain has stopped, so that's just made his misery really, really bad, because everyone's going to go faster than him anyway, but it would have been useful to go P1.
Yeah, for sure.
And I was right about that rain stopping now, and judging by what Jamie thinks, this will be a dry track by the end of qualifying, so the people who went early at the bottom of the championship, for once, will probably all stay there. Definitely, we might get a properly bottom...
Yeah, might get a proper grid.
Might get a proper grid for once. Not that we want that, but we might get it. Oh, that means TC's going to have a rubbish race again. Oh, no. How many times? He's got to have a good one eventually, hasn't he? Or are we just going to have to write his season off?
Well, I guess his good one was Baku at the start of the season, wasn't it?
He was in the Championship
P3.
5 last season, for goodness sake. We got to see. I'm looking forward to seeing him fight for the title at some point soon. You got to get a win out of him at some point.
I'm pretty sure he's going to come back next season with a vengeance.
I mean, we're
He's
not
got the
biased, but we sort of are. But we sort of aren't. But like, he's got P1
There we
end
go.
of session, red flag.
There we go.
Ah, there we go. He's P1. Mind you, you'd sort of expect that considering we've got a drying track, and well, pretty much every lap that comes in now should be going fastest. And you can see,
MK
Bourne. Wow, wait.
Sideways.
It's got to keep it going though, because as I say, this track is continually drying. So even little slides like that, you'll still go quicker on the lap. You just pull it together, but you can see he's now invalidated it, so that's really gone and messed him up. Now we can watch Riley. You can see there's still spray coming off. Not much, but enough to say that it's definitely still not ready for dries yet. No one's gone out on them either. We've got Jamie and we've got Risky in the pits looking at the mediums. And they all want to qualify in those mediums. I guess they're looking at doing medium soft today. But we'll see.
I think so, definitely.
Jamie certainly likes his alternate strategy, doesn't he? So he always does this. This might be a chance for it to work. A pretty open net actually for it to work for him this time. Nothing needs it to. He always does well without it anyway.
I think he'll probably try it in Brazil as well next week. One of those 5 drivers, one of the 3 who's already through. Attention turns to Riley. He confirmed to me earlier in the week he won't be coming back for season 3, but he will stay on as a reserve driver. So our short track merchant, what can he do on his penultimate qualifying session as a full-time driver?
Should be P1.
Comes up to the line.
It is. So, again...
Stop the count. Stop the count.
Oh, Yuri's put up some leaves there, but from my point of view it looked like he smashed into the wall. So I apologise for getting a bit too excited there, but it certainly looked like he was about to clatter the wall. I must have caught him at a very bad time. He is on his lap, he should be on to go for a good one as well. 48.1 in the middle sector. I don't think that's actually quite fastest yet, but yeah, he'll have to sort of send us into the final chicane if he wants to do anything. And he gets a bit of slipstream as well off Dexter. Not much, but 1 or 2 mile an hour could be crucial.
Yep.
As he
You're
comes up.
the only man realistically who can challenge Ben for this chase championship, but it might be a little bit too late for that really, because it's a big lead that Ben has. Yuri up to the line, 1:19.7.
Not really what he's looking for. Let's see how Ben gets on. He's going slower. Ben is going slower right now than Yuri. By about 3/10 in the middle sector.
He was just in front of Riley. I don't know if he got caught up behind him in the wrong part of the track, maybe.
Possibly, yeah. Nothing they can do about it now, I don't. As he comes up to the final chicane now. The wall of champions. If Fudaba hit it already, he wants to be a champion. He might want to get that little nick on the way past, but decides not to. As he comes up to the line, he wants P1. He's not going to get P1. He only gets P4.
Interesting.
And we've got our first driver out on the dries. That's OKK. So we'll have to keep our eyes on him after Dexter's lap, which isn't going particularly too well so far. In fact, it's looking easily to be the slowest time we've seen in most of the session. Apart from Clyde and Jess, who had errors on their lap, I'd imagine Dexter had an error or two as well. Might even be worth cutting off this lap. I want to see how OKK gets on for his lap, because he is struggling his way around to start this up, and this could be crucial to see, you know, what tire's the best tire to be on here. Arnold has selected full wet. I wouldn't suggest those.
Mind games, that is.
Look at this. OKK, I don't think this is ready yet. Look at it. He's really struggling to get the power down, but it always looks slow, but then ends up fast. So we'll give it a second.
More lap from Dexter.
Well, yeah, I said it. He was struggling so much. But OKK, that first sector. Let me quickly compare that to P1. Nah, this isn't working. This tire's not ready yet. It's nearly a second off. This tire's not right yet. And that means Pete being out there on inters could be the right decision. And we see Kyle also considers him. And Jordan as well. Although Jordan has missed his slot, Jacko.
What's his time? So it should be 7:15.
Yes, he's missed his slot by quite a long way. So that's bad.
Indeed. We've seen that a couple times this season. Not as much as we thought we were going to get, but Yeah,
maybe
no
he went from a bathroom break. It lasted a bit too long, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, so he's realised now. He's realised now. And, oh, KK really struggling through the last chicane. This isn't going to get anywhere near the front, I don't think. He'll be lucky to get top 5, and he doesn't get it. P6.
Pete.
Oh, he's slithering around, but he's going quicker than OKK was. So even though the track looks bone dry, it seems to not be. We must be right on that crossing over point now, surely. We can't have much longer with this.
It's going to be a big gamble for one of those last 3 or 4 drivers to go out on the dries. Pete, 10 points behind Camo Babo coming into this race. He needs to outscore him by that much or win.
You've got to put a set of softs on if you're going to go out on dries, potentially. I don't know what the mediums were like. We saw them with OKK. You just have to hope the track is ready, though. You can see that Pete had a bit of a better time on this lap, but you can tell it's because he's on inters. But surely it's a dry track now. Surely the next lap we see on the wets, or the dries, should be good. As Pete, well, he literally spins out of the last chicane.
Yeah.
But he guns it to the line, and he only goes P2. Right then, here is Risky, I believe. He's on the softs.
Teammate and rival to Pete. Race winner in Austria. It's a good line. By the way, Jordan did go out, but he only went out for an installation lap.
Ah, right, okay.
And he said that the track was on the crossover. It was dry, and he was on inters.
Yeah, Risky's going to go pull by a couple of seconds here. This is now the time to be on the dries. And Kyle has decided he wants to go on the sauce later on, so a risky pull might actually be at risk here. If he was the only one on the sauce, it could have been an easy pull. But with Kyle out there, that could be quite difficult now. But he will get the lap in. He needs this. This is crucial for him. Risky up to the line. Easily going to go P1 by about 4 seconds, and he has done. So that guarantees him a top 5 spot.
What about Mr. Head Down, Camo Babo, fighting Risky and Pete for this
going
final
even
place?
Faster, Jacko. He's going even faster.
The track's coming to him.
The track is going to get much, much faster. We could even dip under that 1:10 barrier. It just depends how quickly these last sets of softs go. But let's see Camo Babo through the final chicane. Oh wow, he cut the inside quite a lot, but he's got away with it.
Brilliant.
Up to the line, should go P1, and he does go P1.
Turning that on when he needs to. This is the fans' favourite. Everybody wants to see Camo Babo go through.
Well, he's doing what he needs to do at the moment. Here is Jamie going another second quicker in the middle sector. We're getting closer to the 1:10 mark. Like I say, we expect every time coming through now to be a fastest time. Pete said that the game changed his tires last second, but you know what, that might not be the worst thing in the world, because he still gets a top 10 spot. He can put whatever tire he wants on for the grid, unless of course it's a wet start. But yeah, that gives him free rein on tires. That might not be the worst mistake in the world, that, for Pete. As Jamie comes to the line, he also improves. He goes up to P1. Next up is Arnaud. Let's see how he's getting on. No mistakes so far. He really has been the man to beat recently, hasn't he? He's absolutely been flying around, and he's set a purple middle sector.
Every single playoff round, yeah.
I don't think that's actually as fast as Jamie. I'm trying to remember, but either way, he'll get to the end of the lap and go top 5 regardless. I mean, it would take a corner cut to mess it up from here. So let's see how he gets on. Will he go full send into the final chicane? Will he feel it's worth it? I guess he's already through, isn't he? He doesn't really need to worry about the risk of it. Just go for it.
He's here for fun.
And he's going to go P1 easily in the end. Wow. Wasn't even close.
Provisional third pole of the season for Arnold if he stays there.
But here comes Kyle on the softs. The second of 2 to drive a lap on the softs in this qualifying session. And let's see if it's going to be enough for P1. He's got 1:10.7 to beat. He's not going to make it. It's Arnold on pole on the mediums. Fascinating stuff. And that's bad news for Carl. He must not be like
he's on softs, I've just seen.
I mean, he's surely going to be starting to feel this pressure a little bit. Having been so dominant in the earlier stage of the season, he's now getting beaten by people on the slower tire than him. He must be worried about Brazil a little bit now, seeing that happen.
For sure. I mean, this man won 5 races in the first 7 events that we went to. He then had a streak of 3 races where he didn't win, and he come back and won the first race in the playoffs, which was Bahrain Shore, and he's just not quite been at the top ever since.
Right, so the grid: Arnold from Kyle, Jamie, Calvabo and Risky. Then the fastest inter-runner was Riley in the end, from then Pete, TC, Yuri, Iceman, who's on the Joker, remember. Then Khalifa, OKK, Paul, Lee Garden, Clyde, Jess, Dexter, NK Bourne, Baza, and Jordan.
Risky confirming he only had half a wing as well on his soft tyres, so he could have gone slightly quicker. I don't know how much quicker. But big performance from him and Camo Babo.
It's enough, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
But we'll see what the race brings up. So what's the permutations for people getting through here?
Camo Babo is 7 points ahead of Risky and 10 ahead of Pete. If any of them win, it's a guaranteed slot in the Championship 5 next week. In the event of a tie, then the winner or the person who advances is judged on count back. So Risky has a race win, Pete has a second place, and Camo has a third place. So that would be the order based on whoever ties. That's pretty much it, really.
Right. All right. And so
these guys, if they have a disqualification from the race, it's pretty much game over, season over.
Well, if you're going to have it anywhere, USA short or Canada. So tricky times this, and it'll be interesting to see what times they all go on to as well for the start. Ben Iceman has a much easier task. He just has to get a few points, really.
Let me just find the gap for you, Owen. All the attention's been on the playoffs this past week, so Ben's sort of been left in his own little world to think about how he's going to approach this, use his Joker strategy. As I stall because I can't find there it is. He has a 19-point lead over Yuri, so Yuri needs a miracle, both stage wins, fastest lap, and pole, and he didn't get pole, so he has to get 23 points.
A very
ideally.
Difficult task then.
Yes.
Right, here's the tires then. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 on the mediums and 10 on the softs then, so we've got a full split down the middle. They're all sort of unsure of what they want to do, which is good news, gives us a bit of variety in this. Already had Dexter disqualified from the formation lap. What a shame that is, with his chrome livery, which did he win his legit? We need to ask him on this. I know we definitely know Khalifa earned his one legit, right?
No, he didn't.
No?
Nobody's come forward ever since we've been talking about it. I'm pretty sure it was me, you and Khalifa were the only ones that actually legitimately won that livery. Stage points tonight, Owen, is end of lap 9 and end of lap 17. They are the final 2 stage points this season. Of course, they are not available in Brazil.
Yeah.
And Kyle Smith, he's won 11 of them. Which ain't a bad record.
Right then, they're all heading down the back straight now. The nerves are starting to go up really for Pete, Risky, Camo. They can all see each other. They know what their rivals are doing, where they are. They're just going to make sure they don't get involved in any silly accidents. Risky had such a messy time last week. He cannot afford that again.
No, none of them can. But to put it into context, Owen, pretend you're Pete. You need to outscore Camo Babo by 10 clear positions on track, unless of course you win the race. So if Pete is second, it doesn't matter, because if Camo is anywhere within 10 places of him, he'll still advance. And the same for Risky, but the gap is 7.
Right, here we go then. Jordan, the last man to line up on the grid in his orange livery, and it's the first time I've seen that from him this season. And when the flag lights go out, we'll be underway here at the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. Eventually they'll go out, eventually they'll turn on as well. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's Arn on the right, it's Kyle on the left, Boogity, boogity, boogity. Let's go racing in Canada. Looks like a good start from Arnold. He'll hold the lead unless anyone wants to go for any dive bombs. Jamie does fancy looking to turn one. Riley going right around the outside. There's a lot of contact. Clyde's gone steaming down into a few cars there, and Khalifa I believe as well. A lot of cars in the accident there, but only a virtual safety car. There is debris everywhere, and there is penalties across the board. TC's got one. Jess is fifth and she's got one. That must be the thing messing up though. We'll still tell you the penalties though. Pete, TC, Jess, Khalifa, Riley, Newgarden, Paul, Iceman, OKK, Yuri and Baza already have penalties. Are you crazy? What's happened? I saw a car flying up the inside and it just pandemonium after that.
Yeah.
Crucially, Pete is one of the people with penalties there, and crucially as well, Pete and Risky. Or not Pete and Risky, sorry, Risky and Cameron, they got away with it. Looks like they're Florida again. Are we alright to go green flag?
Jamie, you almost in the back of Arnold there.
Yeah,
wow.
Bit risky. They're still flying around here, but nothing's going green. There we go. We've gone green now. I wonder what was taking them so long, but yeah, they're away now.
Yeah, so to put it into context for people, if the race finished like this, I know it's just the end of lap 1, Camo Babbo would advance to the Championship 5.
Remember here, we've got Kyle and we've got Risky on the soft, so they've really got to get a move on against these guys on the medians. And we get a few speeding penalties. We've got half the grid into the pit lane. We've got Paul, we've got Pete, and we've got Kyle passing Jamie, look, up into second position in the end. But we do have everyone.
Next week.
We have got everybody from 12th down in the pit lane. One of them is Iceman, who's right at the back at the minute, but it looks at that.
One of them's Pete as well.
Well, yes, Pete as well. But crucially, one of them is Iceman also. But again, Yuri was also in, so does it really matter? I don't know. But here's Risky now having a little look. He's getting close to Jamie. He'd expect to be quicker in this phase of the race. He'd love to be sitting pretty on the podium right now.
Owen, cast your mind back to about 2 months ago when Risky entered the race at Austria in P20 overall and won it.
Well,
and advanced to the playoffs, and here he is now, looking like he's got race winning potential in the early stages.
Well, a race would be pretty handy for him, wouldn't it? He's only 2 places ahead of Camo Babbo at the moment. He needs a lot more than that, and Jess has gone off. It's a yellow flag for her, but she should get recovered by the time these guys all catch up, so there should be no need for any safety cars or anything like that. And she has indeed recovered. DRS is now enabled here, and that should give Kyle and Risky an easier time of moving up to 1 and 2. That's sort of where they need to be on this tire at this stage of the race. And Camo, he's got 2 seconds over TC, because obviously he's on the median, so he might have to worry a little bit as well. And Riley himself is catching up to Risky too. So that was the first DRS zone they've been through now. Remember, there is 3 on this track. Easy to forget that, I know, but they do have 3, but only 2 detection zones. Yeah, very easy to understand that. But here for the lead then is Kyle and Arnold. This also perhaps a little rehearsal for Brazil. Let's see how well he's learnt his lines so far. As he gets down the back straight, he's got absolutely no ERS left. That's really not gone too well for him at all, has it? He won't get pie like that.
It's always going to be a sit and duck if Kyle gets the exit here out of the World Champions. Arnold goes hard defensive to the left as they start lap 4.
Risky's into the pits on lap 3. Lap 3. Now, is there any front wing damage? No, this is strategy. This is purely strategy for Risky. He's going to, hopefully, for his sake, be in free air, and I think he will be. Because that's MK1 going by now. He should be through turn 2 by the time Risky gets to there. So he should have a couple of seconds of free air to really pump in some lap times.
Great strategy call if it pays off. Of course, it is still a mandatory 2-stop for all these drivers, with the exception of Ben Shaw, Iceman down in P14.
I'd be surprised if he manages to get to the end on those tyres, though.
Yeah, I think that's the Joker, the last Joker we'll see this season, and it's not gone well.
Jess again. Jess is, I think she's already been lapped by the field. Yeah, she's being lapped by the field, I think, unfortunately. It's not going too well for her, only 4 laps in. Well, only 2 laps in and a half for her, actually, but yeah. Kyle got close to the back of Arnold again, but there was no way through. Like I say, he's not got any ERS to play with here, so he can't really go about making any moves. Like I say, he can't be doing this in Brazil. If you get stuck like this in Brazil, then it's for a championship then. I know it's not a serious night. They really are just racing recreationally, just for a bit of fun. But, yeah, Kyle's got to make sure he can, you know, put a statement down here. So I'm still the top dog here, because recently you can honestly say he really hasn't been.
No, like I say earlier on, sorry, that win in Bahrain short was the last time he got to the top step. This is the man who won 5 races in the regular season. He's not captured that form ever since. The league went for a phase where KK and Risky won races along with J-Luke behind these guys. And then it's been the Arnold show ever since we got into the playoffs. He's got to be holding something back, surely, saving it for Brazil. Will any of these top 3 want to show their hand this early on in the Canada race?
Really, too often we see these 3 together. I'd say they should take advantage of it while we have it and just have a bit of fun, but then they'd have to worry about crashing and stuff, and that means they won't do it. So instead, let's watch Risky, because he's catched up to NK4, he's catched up to Dexter, who's trying to catch up to Jordan. And NK4 now going for the move on Dexter into the final chicane, and he gets it done, but that's now a difficult exit for him, but he has DRS, so he'll stay ahead. Risky wasn't close enough to have a chance of getting by, and he is setting personal bests at the moment, is Risky, and he's got to get these moves done quickly, because if he gets it up to 8th place, then he's got nearly 6 seconds of free air to play with, and that could prove crucial for him winning the race, which is really, at this stage, with Kava was sitting pretty in 5th, it's what he needs to do.
Yeah, high chance of a safety car here as well, so I like the call for an early stop as well.
Yellow flag,
there's a yellow flag.
Jess again.
Okay. Risky on Dexter on the inside, coming up to the second chicane, and he's completed that move.
Making use of the DRS zone effectively, and he's made the position pretty easily there as well. And here comes Kyle again, getting close to the back of Arnold, but again he's got no ERS, so he's not getting past at the moment.
Risky with a better exit out of the hairpin, he's all over the back of MK Vaughan now, as they head down into the second DRS zone. It's going to be an easy move. MK Vaughan to the right, Risky to the left, and that's another position. Jordan next on his hit list, 2 pits.
In the pit lane. That's useful for Risky, that really couldn't have been much more simple for him. And he'll very much enjoy that. Yeah, it's all falling into his lap right now.
Surely we're not going to see another Austria-style race.
He needs it though. He needs it.
He does need it.
Oh, Jamie, he's in the wall. No, he's got to try and find a way to get back around by hitting anything else or anyone else. Oh,
not here.
It's. How hard does he want to hit that wall when reversing, for goodness sake?
Risky's overtaken him, another position.
Did you see that? He absolutely pile drived into the wall so many times.
I saw it.
That was angry reversing. I can hear the expletives from here.
Good. Dexter looking up, lining up a move on Jamie with his lack of wing. Gets it done.
Dear. Right, here comes Kyle again on R9, and again he's going to run out of ERS. This is getting silly now. Oh, we've lost Paul. That's safety car potential, Jacko. But will we get it? No, we get a virtual safety car. And well, it's pretty nasty that for Paul.
Yeah.
It's pretty nasty that for Paul. I'm surprised he hasn't got a full safety car. I'm not surprised though that it's Paul McGuinness out of the race. And that saves Jamie's arse, doesn't it? Oh. Into the pits he comes.
If there's a man that's been blessed by safety cars and virtual safety cars this season, it is Jamie Wright.
Mind you, Risky's absolutely miles down the road anyway. So, yeah. I mean, yeah.
Risky was P4 before the pit stop, wasn't he? So, and they were all, those top 4, they were all together. So he is the man to watch still. No,
we go green again. MK Bourne's been speeding, and we went green again. So the leaders were all heading to the hairpin. That really didn't help them out too much. But TC nearly went for a move, and Calvabo's going wide. Will TC have a chance at him? Surely there's going to be plenty of opportunity, but he's just got to get it done. We know he sometimes struggles to make the overtake stick, but this time it should be pretty easy. And TC makes the move on Camo Babo. Kyle again gets close to R9. It's a bit of a broken record, this one. He's still not past him, and R9 nearly about to lap Yuri today. Already getting a few people lapped, and surprised how quickly that's happening. I know it's a short lap time, but it's not a short. I don't know. Surprising. I know Yuri's been in the wars a little bit, I guess. But well, we'll see how that affects the lead battle because, well, let's be honest. Risky wouldn't mind a bit of a help from his speed teammate here to slow these front runners down a tad.
Yeah, of course. If Arnold leads at the end of this lap, it'll be his. It'll be the stage point. Another extra point for the playoffs. Not that he needs it. And if he leads the lap after that, it'll be his 100th lap led this season.
Key to pit stop.
Yep. I reckon Kyle would follow him in as well.
I reckon Kyle's pitting regardless. He isn't even anywhere near close to what he was in the last lap. I think he's sort of starting to realise this. It might not work out for him, but does he pit? Yes, he does pit. You can sort of see that one coming from how he wasn't catching. He has to try something to get ahead, and he's also sort of got to be. He's also got to be wary as TC also pits. Yeah, we're seeing all the soft runners pit now. Will we see Newgarden then? Yes. Oh, Risky has a penalty, but will he beat Kyle out by 3 seconds? Because it'd be a good benchmark to see just how well he's doing. And no, he's not. And he's ahead of him, but not by 3 seconds. But still, he's ahead of him, so it's proving that the undercut there was working for him. He should get R out as well then.
He's in position.
He's in position to lead it. He just needs the others to get penalties now, and he's potentially in a position to fight for the final 5. And what a way to, qualify by winning the race before the final 5. I mean, that's not a way to have your intent set.
Yeah, that's a statement in itself, isn't it? Winning that.
Indeed, yeah.
It's the same way in he won Austria. I would say he come into that absolute no-hoper and won it.
Yeah.
And we're looking at the same here, elimination race. Absolutely the only way to get through to the next round, and he's doing it. But 25 laps to go is maybe slightly too early to call, but I like the race that Risky is running here. It's be interesting to watch and see how it unfolds.
Yeah. And obviously it's good that we're able to sort of keep better track of penalties on the stream anyway, because obviously you see the graphic on now, but illicit that 3-second penalty. Well, it's not really going to matter too much, because here comes Kyle at the inside, and he's back ahead of Risky, but Risky's going to come back at him around the outside of turn 2, but cannot find a way by, and that means he's got to rely on Camo Babu falling down in positions again a little bit. He needs a safety car now, doesn't he? Really, just to take Camo Babu out of the equation.
Yes, absolutely. And of course, so that would leave Risky P3.
Yep.
Camo Babo would have to be 10th to qualify. And where's Pete's only 7th? He's not doing enough. Last season's champion could be out in round 3 as things stand. It's down to the 2 guys that you really wouldn't have thought would have much chance of it, but here we are.
Just the way this season's been, really.
Yeah.
We're still sort of in awe of the fact that Pete has fallen off so catastrophically badly, and well,
Arnold pits.
Arnold pitting, yeah. That means Camo leads. And it's also a shame to see that Cleaver isn't doing the whole season, because he would have been right in this as well. You'd imagine.
Sure. And you imagine as well, if Iceman had been in from the start, had he been picked in the draft,
yeah,
he would have been a playoff driver 100%.
Here's Arnold then. You can see where Kyle is. He's made the undercut stick, and you can also see Risky, because he's also ahead. So he's got to pass 2 cars then to get back to where he was before the pit stop started. He does have DRS.
How he's come up behind these 2.
Oh, look at that. It's easy. It's a speed v speed, so not really a massive surprise there that Risky lets him go.
I think if it comes to it, Arnold will repay the favour later in the race.
I'd hope so. You
rock
should have
up
got
into the
some sort
hairpin
of
for it.
plan for this.
Oh, I'm sure.
And if not, then there'll be someone being fired from Team Speed. But anyway, we're just waiting on Camo Babbo then to pull the trigger and pit. This is really, in the danger zone of this going a bit wrong if he gets a safety car right now. Because he'll be the only one, I think, really in massive trouble. As Dexter passes NK Bourne, it's fights like these that could produce accidents. You got to be careful that you don't get caught out.
Camo Babbo's already tripled his laps led this season already in these last 2 laps where he's led the race.
Safe to say, the 2 drivers really fighting for this final spot are definitely giving it their all then for these last races, which is good to see.
It's fantastic. These elimination races just seem to bring out the absolute best in everyone, don't they?
It sort of forces the best out, because if you don't do it then, well, you're never going to do it. So, they've really got to bring their A game. Speaking of which, here's Arnold, who's really brought his A game. And he's looking to make this a 4th win in the playoffs. 4th win of the season. And let's see if he can get by Kyle, because Kyle struggled the whole first stint to get by on the DRS in that last sector. Arnold, because saved his DRS a bit, he might go for down towards turn 1. Give Kyle no chance of coming back. And he will do that, and that will be P2, aka the net lead of the race. Oh, they've hit each other. And they're, well, lucky not to have any damage there, yeah.
No damage.
Almost surprising there's no damage. And there's a safety car potential. Who is it though? Is it, I can't tell who it is. Who is it? Who is it?
It was Riley?
Yeah,
Riley has wing damage. He got that in the final turn.
Ah, yes.
No, that was what the yellow flags were for, but I didn't see what kind of incident caused it.
I was sort of expecting to see the car parked in the wall. That's why I was a bit confused when there was no one there. Did you see that in the last again? You think,
yeah,
right,
I saw a white dot and instantly thought it was Jamie.
It was same, yeah, but then I see Jamie. Nope, he's fine. Who the hell is it then? So, yeah.
Definitely Riley.
Yellows again. That's for Jess letting
Jess.
people through. Jess is about to be lapped, I think, for the 2nd time. She's been lapped by the whole field now, like I say. She's about to be lapped for, I think, the 2nd time the race by the leaders who are fighting. And Kyle has finally made that move stick on the back straight for the first time in his life.
Camo Babbo pit zone.
Yep, there he goes. He saw that yellow flag and thought, right, nah, I don't want this to happen again. I'm just gonna box now. Here comes Arnold again. Is he gonna get close to Kyle? Kyle was opening the DRS, so there was no real point, and so he didn't go for it. But how far is Camo gonna fall? Because I think he had to stack. I think he had to stack for Baza. Oh, look at him. He's still waiting. He had to stack for Baza. Luckily for him, though, the field spread is so massive already. That virtual safety car, that will also help him out. He actually ends up then in 7th place. So he's still in position to get through. He still has a few positions of leeway there.
So the lowest position that Camo can be without having to have any worry is if Risky is P2, Camo to be 7 places behind that, so P9. If he's anywhere below that and the other 2 are up there, then he should start worrying.
Drive through penalty for TC. Here comes Arnold on the DRS now, but not using the ERS as Camo gets past Dexter. And will Arnold have a little look into turn 1 now? He's going to do what he did before. These two, they came together last time. They tried this into turn 1. And Arnold's going to try the other side this time, the much more safe side. You can argue with Kyle still wants to launch on the inside. And they do make a bit of contact once again. But it is Arnold who gets the move done. No, yeah, it's Camo then. I think he'll be on a 2-stop because he's sitting P6 now, but he has to make another stop. Okay, there's quite a lot of 2-stops out there behind him, but it's too early to tell how effective those 2-stops are going to be. Also, it is worth pointing out that we do see penalties on here as well. We can't give you the actual number of the penalties. We might put that up at the end of the race because right now I'd rather look at the tyres. But just so you know, it is there. We will look at it later on. And Pete and Cleaver were going for it there, but I think it's about time we cut back to the front and see how they're getting on because they're behind Jess. I said they were about to lap her for the second time, and they are going to do that now. And Arnold wasn't
We've been
quite.
here before, haven't we, Owen?
Yes, but Arnold wasn't quite within DRS range, so he didn't get DRS on Jess. And Kyle gets ahead. Jess pits, but that's not the best line in the world from Kyle. And he does get the DRS, so it saves him. It saves him. Ah, damn it! I want to see these two go for it a bit harder than that. I also low key kind of curious to see what happens if they come together. But yes, we'll dream on about that, I think.
Is the sky starting to turn colour? Change colour?
It's a bit grey, isn't it? Camo, by the way, gets past Jamie now into turn 1. He's up to 5th.
Yeah, he's doing enough, isn't he?
He's doing everything he needs to do right now.
Jess's car, which she retired in the pits, has come out and is on the exit at turn 2.
Yeah.
In the inside wall.
Yeah. Because co-masters don't know how to just put a car back into the garage. Lazy, aren't they?
Yeah.
Right, I was going to give the fight for 11, but the fight for first is probably more interesting. So let's go and watch those lot again. As they head down towards the final chicane, Kyle goes to the middle of the track. Arnold looked on the inside, tries to unsettle his rival. Kyle, not the best for the final chicane. I think Arnold again is going to have a chance. Which side is he going to go this time? He's going to go to the right hand side. And Kyle, high deep, is he going to go on the brakes? Deep enough to hit him again? How many times are they going to get away with this before they end up having a serious accident?
If they're like this now, what's it going to be like next week?
Oh, well, this is it. This is only a precursor to what we're going to see next time out. And TC's in the pit lane. He has a drive-through that he has to take. I don't know if he's taking that now or not, though. It's hard to tell, really, from here. But that does put Cabo up into 4th place, regardless. Only one position behind Risky right now. This is, yeah, Risky's sort of starting to realise that the only way he's going to win this... Well, the only way he's going to get through is by winning this, yeah. Yellows again. That is OKK. Now, where is that? I know it's in the final chicane. Safety car. Okay, so who has made 2 stops then? Because this does sort of help the 2 stoppers, and Jordan is the lead 2 stopper. He is on 3 lap full tires as well. They are relatively new enough to potentially get into the end of the race. From the very back of the grid, by the way, he might become the net race leader.
And what did we see last season? Khalifa won from the back of the race. Back of the race? Back of the grid, sorry. It's
going to happen again, Jacko, by the looks of it, because he is indeed the lead 2-stopper. Second in line for that, Pete. No, he would love to win this one, wouldn't he? Because he needs it. He needs it. But how's his tyres? They're 4 laps old, but they are the hards. Maybe not the best tyre you want to be on. And those clouds are looking pretty threatening. So
yeah, they're definitely worse now.
So
yeah, a lap ago they were grey, they're now greyer.
In dry conditions, maybe we're looking good for this, but it feels like it might not stay dry. That's the problem that we've got here. But we'll see.
Did Arnold take the lead back from Kyle before the safety car now? I think he did.
Yeah, he did. We did see it.
Apologies.
Yes. Kyle somehow, like we say, hasn't got a broken front wing after all that. You'd think of all the bumping and barging he was doing in the turn 1 that eventually Simon was going to give, and it didn't.
Looking at Tass, he has no damage whatsoever anywhere. In fact, nobody out there has any wing damage. No slow punches to note.
Right, quick reminder of penalties then. So Risky has 3 seconds, TC has 3 seconds, so we did take the drive through. That was a good decision, that, because he's right back into this now with a safety car, so the drive throughs, you know, null and void now. Newgarden, 15 seconds of penalties. Dexter 3, Jordan 3, NK Bourne 6, Khalifa 3, Riley 6, Baza 6, and Yuri 3. Now the drivers can see these penalties, yes? Yeah, you have let them do that, haven't you?
Yes. So I didn't make the lobby.
Good.
If it was me, it'd be turned off.
So they can't see the penalties then, these drivers. For the 5 drivers around them, so that's them and the 2 cars ahead and the 2 cars behind. If you're Arnold or Kyle, then you'll just see everyone down the paper sector. You know what I mean. You'll see the penalties for the people who are relevant to you.
Oh, and what they can't see is that Risky is on 5 warnings, so one more is another penalty for him.
Right, we're waiting to see some rain starting to fall then, because it does feel like it's almost inevitable that the rain's going to start tipping it down. And that would be some curveball.
Wouldn't it just?
Because you know what, qualifying, it's a difficult one. They were all sliding into the champions wall. So they gotta make sure they don't do that again, because yeah, we don't like those omens, but at the same time we sort of do like those omens. But yeah, safety car should get to pit at the end of this lap. Baz is a lap down, by the way. He's ahead of Camo behind Risky, so that's a good thing for Risky. He doesn't have to worry about Camo Babo. Who's left to catch up then? Is it Iceman? Iceman, who's quite a long way behind at the start of the lap. He does catch up now. Safety car in at the end of this.
Despite everything, lap. Iceman is doing enough to advance and win the chase.
Well, the safety car should put him in a nice position to get after the top 10, potentially now. So he should be alright, but let's see these leaders then. Because we know the top two.
They need to move out the way on the restart.
We know that the top two have already had their fight so far today. And
Risky pits.
Kyle has a penalty as Risky pits on the restart. That tells me we're not going to get any rain then. Surely we're not going to get any rain if he's confident enough to pit at this stage. Which means that the two stoppers who've already made their second stop are looking pretty good. If they don't get caught up, of course. I mean, we keep saying the ultimate strategy, you'll get swallowed up. This is effectively what the Joker strategy would have done. So we're just saying effectively a lot of mini Jokers out there.
Yeah. As I stood in front of Camo Babo, I expect him to move over shortly. Blue flags being waved for the 86 car.
He's not moving though, is he? He'll argue that Camo Babo isn't really very close to him, and he is pulling away, isn't he?
He is.
Oddly enough.
And of course, after this first lap of green flag, he can rightfully stay there, whether he's a lap down or not.
Arnold is 1.4 seconds clear at the front, by the way, as Riley gets ahead of Khalifa.
That's a boost for Camo Babo, by the way.
Yeah, a good go now up the back straight towards the championship chicane, or world championship chicane. And yeah, no moves into there. They're going to be put on the exit instead. There's still debris out there from where the crash was, but if you're going to be hitting that debris, then you're probably having an accident. Jordan is up to 4th place ahead of Dexter, and he is easily in the net leading the race right now.
Let's see. Where's Pete? A few cars back in P7.
Net second as it stands. So it'll be
Pete would need to catch and pass Jordan, because by the time front runners have all pitted, Camo Babo will still be coming out around 7th, 8th after the pit stops. So Pete needs to win. Because Camo Babo in 8th, as we said earlier, we'll see him through to the Championship 5 next week. We've got a whole week of events planned. It's looking exciting, just like last time when we had that build up to China, Owen.
But do we have Ginger Andy?
He told me to speak to him after Canada.
Ugh.
So in 13 laps time, we'll be on it.
Anyway, Cal, restart, that didn't really work out for him, did it? So he's going to try the undercut again, his trusty undercut strategy. Jordan already passed him. Oh, the front wing's broken. There was damage in, we just couldn't see it.
Is that for Kyle, sorry?
Kyle, yeah.
Okay.
And Risky sets the fastest lap of the race. And Jordan is just a country mile ahead of these guys who were front runners. So this is going to be a wee showdown at the end of the race, which could decide who breaks into the Championship 5, and I am very much looking forward to this. This is a very intense end to the race that Risky's going to have to endure, that Camo Babo's going to have to endure even more.
Yeah, and it all comes back to that Mr. Knight and Pete down in P5. He scraped through the regular season just about. He scraped through round 1 and round 2 of the playoffs. He could still scrape through round 3 and give himself a shot at a second title.
It would be something, wouldn't it? As Camo
Wouldn't it?
battle
What a story.
pets. Now, let's see how far he falls. Because, depending on how bad this gets, he could be in an even worse predicament than you'd find Risky in. It's mediums. Risky comes past him now. Remember, he got held on his first stop. Yellow flag, safety car!
Oh,
It's a bit of a pile-up going on. Iceman's involved. He's broken his front wing, but Jordan as well, the net race leader.
That means it's Pete.
No, it means it is Pete, unless he was also involved. Let's see. Has he got any damage? No.
He's fine.
He's fine. He's dandy. He's absolutely loving life. Arnold is not. Who is the net race leader now? Let's
It's
just
Pete.
confirm it. It is definitely Pete, but he's on those hards. We don't think they're very good. Riley,
He also doesn't
however,
have a penalty, Owen.
Riley,
No
however,
penalty.
could pass him and make the 3-second gap. That's something worth pointing out right now. So Khalifa as well, net podium. He sits third, but those tires certainly are not going to go to the end from here. Risky then. Risky is all right, isn't he? He's actually all right out of that, to be honest. Camo okay as well, but remember, you can't pit on the safety car unless you've got enough front wing damage to justify it.
Camo made a very well-timed pit stop.
He did indeed. It just says a couple of positions which could be important at the end of the race. But let's see. Who's pitting? NK Bourne. Now we're going to have to judge this. Because whose damage was worthy enough. Okay, I'd say NK Bourne's is fine. He's missing pretty much the whole wing. And Jordan literally hasn't got a wing. So yeah, they're fair pit stops. They're fair pit stops.
Are they?
Yeah, they look fair enough to me.
Yeah, Jordan. Mike's has just changed. Yeah, Jordan, I'm getting 100% readout on TAS, so he definitely had no wing.
NK Bourne had big damage to both end plates. Most of them were completely gone. It had the bottom element of each side, so it was like the flat plane and then one element, and that was all I had on both sides. So I'd say that's enough, honestly. Oh, we've lost him. We've lost Jacko. That's a problem. Jacko cannot perform voice chat due to a network connection failure. I bet you he's got Sky broadband. Right, well, the party's still open, isn't it? I do believe he should be able to join back, thanks to this really confusing system that we've got here on the PlayStation now. Ugh. I want to... Right, party should still be there for him. We're staying under safety car for another lap, which is good news. Because the man at the moment is not here. He's not here. Second now trying to figure this out. Just I've never set up one of these parties before. What's the party settings? I should be able to check who's in it, yeah? Yeah? Or do I have to make a new one? I don't want to make a new one. Here, right, good, lovely, fantastic. He should be able to join back eventually, so you are stuck with me, unfortunately, for now. Don't know why that's an evil laugh, but you get some quality time with me and my PlayStation. So here is the situation then, folks. We've got the net race leader as Pete, but he's on the hards. They're not going to be very quick at the end of this race. Riley on a much better compound, but with a penalty. Khalifa, he'll have to pit again. Iceman, he's good. He's going to the end, but he has got front wing damage. Will he risk it or will he pit? Risky. He has the best tires of them all. He's also on the 2-stop. He has to be potentially one of the favourites to win this thing. But when it comes to penalties, he does have one. And Pete hasn't got one. Arnold might have just lost this race victory. with a safety car because he has to pit again. And well, you can see how bunched up the grid is. He gets that pit stop out of the way straight away. And you can see that's Yuri holding the field up, and Riley is going to have a little look at Pete. Now remember that these lap cars have got to move out of the way, so that's why Speed is letting Speed through without having any issues with Speed. We get yellow flags, and that is for Arn. It's not for Arn, sorry, it's just for the car letting through. But Arn, you can see him falling down, and Yuri still falling down. Look at that, Cal only 8th, Camu only 9th. And well, that does mean, here we go, look at this, Risky up to 4th. Risky is moving on up. He can see the championship right there in front of him. If he can just get into the finale, he might be one of the best outside shots we've ever seen. Well, only 2 seasons, but it'll be the best we've seen. And he can see it. He can see his hopes and dreams right there laid out in front of him. But he's got another penalty. Hold your horses, man. You've got the best tyres out there by a long way. He only has to pass 2 cars in these closing stages, because I'm sure Khalifa will allow him to pit, or he'll just be too slow anyway. And look at that. Here he goes. That should be by Khalifa now with that slide. Just gotta pick your moment. Don't risk it with the outside line. Or, well, Khalifa just let him go. He does just let him go. So that's risky. He has a couple more warnings he can use now. He might need them, because he's got to get into the lead of this thing and then pull away as Iceman enters the pit lane. He should still be alright to get through, because obviously Yuri's behind him. So there should be no problems there, as Jacko does rejoin the lobby, which is good news. Risky still holds on to the back of Riley. Taps the wall a little bit. He's really pushing it. He's pushing it because he can see what's behind him, and he can see, crucially, what's ahead of him. He can still see Pete really struggling. He's trying to hold onto the car. And surely Riley now is going to have a little look for the race lead, is he? Or is he just going to hold it back? Remember, if Pete can hold on to this, he wins this and he gets through to the final 5. But Risky, what an exit he's had. He's looking on the back of Riley. Kyle is flying through the field as well. He's up to P6 now. And surely this top 3 can't get any closer. Nearly tapping each other around. But that's TC. TC, how is he getting on with the penalties? He's only got 3 seconds. And he's good to go to the end as well, as far as I can tell on this. He could be on for that first win of the season as well. Hello, Jacko.
Hello. I quite enjoyed watching it as a spectator, I won't lie.
That's why you employ me.
Yeah, what have I missed?
Nothing much, really. We're just sort of getting into the groove of this. We're waiting to see Risky move up to the race lead. That's what he needs to do. He's got 6 seconds of penalties. He's got to get ahead of Pete, who's holding his own. Pete, who's holding his own. He's got no penalties, remember. Could just flat out get himself into the Championship 5 this way, but you'd have a feeling these tyres are surely not going to have enough grip once DRS does get involved, which it will in a few moments' time. And remember what we said about these guys being Speed teammates. That becomes a bit of an issue now, because they're fighting over that last spot. So the teammate element is going to go out the window with this.
I think so, because both of them will want to be in that Championship 5, but Riley will also want to try and win his first race of the season as well.
Up to second, surely. He's going to go round the outside. He's going to hit his teammate nearly, and that might be Championship over. Unless he gets a good run here, Risky. He's got to get back by. He's got to still try and get into second position. He can still do it. Here comes TC on Riley. We know how difficult he's found overtaking this whole season, and he's going to have those struggles once again on the back straight. No way through, because Riley is still trying to catch up to Pete, the race leader, who somehow still holds the lead. And Risky back up to where he came from. Is it too late now? He needed to get that done. He needs to be going for the race lead into turn 1, not for third. As Jamie sits in the wings, waiting for the opportunity to arise. But TC holds his own. He's going to keep third place here, unless Risky goes around the outside, which is a very risky move, but he's going to do it. He's cut the corner though, and TC comes back in, and the championship is slipping away here. We had yellow flags. I believe that might well be for Yuri, but surely down the inside. Now the move is done, and that is surely P3 again for Risky. But look how much he's got to make up, and look how close TC is to him again. And Kyle just wants to sit back and let it all happen, because he wants to undercut them both. He's going to get by Risky now, surely. And he'll have a little go on TC as well. This is for the podium. Can he nick this race win as well? Oh, he's nearly into the back of TC, and down the inside goes Risky once again. No way free. I think he's out of time. Riley's gone up. Pete is doing everything he's needing to do right now. He's only got 5 more laps, but if he can just hold this, he's going to make it into the final 5. And look at this, we're nearly 3 wide. Camo Babo won some of this. Camo Babo's got to get a move on.
Straight.
He's got to get a move on as well. He wants this. He doesn't want to get robbed. This was his all day long until that safety car came out. And look at this. We've got Carl on the inside of TC. TC defending hard. He wants this. This is his best result of the season, this. And on the inside, Kyle, is he going to get past? Oh, they make more contact. He loves making contact today, does he, Kyle?
He's going to give Camo the run here, though, Owen.
Camo
can he get
does
TC
have the
into
run.
the end of Sector 1? Yes,
he's
he can.
done him. Oh,
No,
he's
he
not.
can't.
He
He's gonna get a
spins.
spin.
Oh, and look at that. We've got Jamie into the side of Risky as well. That's front wing for him, I think. But that is it over for Camo Babo. Massive disappointment for him. His championship hopes dashed.
It's 7. So, as it stands, if Pete loses the race win, Camo Babo is still doing enough.
I don't know. I
But
really don't know.
only just one position will change the outcome of this race. And it all depends what Pete does. 1.8 seconds clear at the front.
Too far clear. He's got 5 seconds to play with here, thanks to the penalties. And here comes Risky again. He's still giving it his all. TC has to concede, and there goes Arnold, who's made a really good recovery after that pit stop that he had to make. And he could still win this win as well. Sure, why not throw him into the ring? He's got by far the best tyres out there at the moment. Oh, Risky's gone.
Risky. Oh, come on.
Yeah, he's just letting go. He's not even bothering. I think he sort of is accepting his fate right now.
Kyle's found 5 tenths on Pete. But as you say, Owen, it's not enough because of that penalty that Kyle is carrying. I missed him picking up any kind of penalty, so you'll have to fill me in on that one. Was it collision under safety car at all or something like that?
Well, no, Kyle picked up 3 seconds earlier on in the race, and Pete obviously was leading for 2 seconds, so that means he has to, pass and then make 3 seconds.
Apologies. Okay, but yeah, like you say, I don't think he can do that. Pete seems to be doing enough here.
Does look that way, doesn't it?
Does indeed.
Nothing really that anyone else can do, and well, after lap 1 you would have been excused to say that he was out of it, but the safety car really held him back into it, and he's fully taking control. And what a time to be on for a win right now, when it gives you the opportunity to go in and win your 2nd championship in a row, something which you would never have predicted after the first few rounds of the season, when he just had absolutely no chance, you would have thought, of doing it. And now look where he is. He's got 3 laps to go, and even if Cal gets him, he still will have a 3-lap buffer on these hard compound tyres, which I really didn't think too much of, but that shows me what I know.
Yeah, Pete will tell you it doesn't matter when you win, as long as you win at the right time. And he knows how to, well, first of all, win a race in JACKOCAR, and 2, win a championship. And he, 2.5 laps to go, Owen. Kyle looks like he's going to make the move here. It'd be silly to challenge him. Just stick with him.
This is going to be a race about looking at the timing screens now, because Arnold is going to come past as well, and those 2 might find themselves back in the fight for the lead. You just never know, because Arnold, he's possibly a bigger threat than Kyle right now to Pete, because he's on the soft tyres, he's on fresh softs.
Speed teammates though, don't forget that.
It's speed 2, 3, 4 right now. The one in the middle thinking, I've got nothing to stake here, the 2 around me do. And Pete nearly thought about going for the overtake, and we've only got 2 to go here.
Let me reiterate, a win for Pete, Camo or Risky will guarantee them a slot in the Championship 5 to fight for a title next week.
Here comes Arnold now, he's getting so close. You can see Kyle getting away, and Pete can see it too. Oh my goodness, it's a 2nd already, Jacko.
Camo Babo's made up a position as well,
has,
so that puts Risky out of contention.
And I tell you what, he might well get Newgarden as well. And look at this, here comes Arnold. He's passing, oh my goodness. Right, so now what Arnold's got to do to help his speed teammate get through is catch as quickly as he humanly can, and then hold Kyle up as much as possible right now. This couldn't be more tense if you are Pete right now, because you're looking at the times and you're seeing you've only got 1 second left in hand. The hard tyres, the old hard tyres, are they starting to become his Achilles heel at the moment, because it's so close. And Arnold's not in DRS range of Kyle. He needs to be.
He's pulling away every traction zone is Kyle.
final lap of the race then.
1.6 the gap.
This is it then. This is to decide who gets that last spot. We know that Iceman's effectively there already. I mean, look where Yuri is. It's done. He's through. The last one we've got to decide is Pete. Or Risky or Camo Babo. At the minute, it's either going to be really Pete or Camo Babo, because it looks like Risky's just not really going to have much of a chance now. And the gap is 2.2 seconds, and Risky is all over the back of Pete as well. My goodness, this could get even worse for Pete. He cannot, under any circumstances, let Risky pass it, because that might just hold him up too much right now.
2.4, Owen.
Oh, he's gone! He's gone! And Pete is out of the championship. That's him gone. Camo Babo then looks like he's going to have it.
Risky's third.
Risky's
right
up to third though, but he's got too many penalties.
Depending on if it stays like that, if it stays third and 10th, it will come down to count back. And Risky would advance on count back because of his win in Austria. But like you say, penalties play a factor.
Not going to happen. Here comes Arnold. He wants the race win, but he's got the penalty. That means that Kyle comes across the line. We said he might have lost it. He certainly hasn't. He's come across the line. It's P1. Arnold's P2. Risky will fall down the grid, and that does mean that Camo Babo, unless he has any accidents now, which he could do as he gets very close to Pete, he will get it done.
He's done it.
He will get it done. That's going to be up to P8 and then back down to P9, and that does mean then that Camo Babo is your fourth runner in, and then we see Iceman cross the line. He's your fifth and final one. And so the order for the final finale, oh my goodness, that's a massive accident. We've got Kyle Arnold, and then we've got Jamie, who had a shocker actually, and then we have Camo Babo, who would have expected that one, and then Iceman. So that is your championship 5, and what a way to decide it as well. Pete, he bottled it, unfortunately. That's a sad way of talking about it, because he spun it. Only a few corners to go, he was there.
From when I rejoined with 7 laps to go, all 3 of those drivers could have been in that championship race next week. But I tell you what, next week it's going to be that man Kyle, it's going to be Arnold, it's going to be Jamie, it's going to be Camo Babo, and it's going to be Iceman, all fighting for the second JACKOCAR title.
And that does mean then we will get a new champion as well, which is always nice. So the order again, in case you missed it, is Kyle, Arnold, TC, Risky, NK Bourne, Riley, Pete, Dexter, Camo Babo, and then Khalifa, Iceman, Newgarden, Jordan, Jamie, Yuri, Baza, OKK, Jess, Paul, and Clyde. And that's where we have to leave it. Unfortunately, we've got a bit of a cliffhanger for next week. I cannot wait. It's going to be the Brazilian Grand Prix. What better place to have a finale? What better place to have a JACKOCAR style finale?
Oh.
Do not miss it. Absolutely do not miss it, because me and Jackie will be here. You'll have all the top 5 in there ready to go for it. None of this Joker stuff. They're just going for it. The 2-stop will still apply as far as I can tell, but it's going to be bomb it. No Jokers. Go for it. And hopefully we'll have a certain Ginger Andy with us as well, but that's to be negotiated.
I'm going to DM him right now.
He is probably going to take forever to respond though, so we shall end this now and we'll let you know next week. But thank you all very much for watching then. Hope you've enjoyed that one. It's certainly a very dramatic end to the race, and I'm going to cry now because I still don't have a PS5.